All right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, brother, for joining me. My name is Shaikwa Ben Yisrael. Thank you, brother, for joining me. Mahalia, Nazarene, Rare Love. I thank you for joining us. Elijah, thank you, Creator, for this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality, to do the best that I can with what you have given me. Thank you, brethren. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel for faithists, for brethren who can subscribe to the OAHSPE Bible that's being revealed in this day and age to all the faithists, to gather them, to prepare them for our eventuality, for our entrance to the kingdom. And so this is a channel for you where if you can subscribe, if you know about the OAHSPE, if you can believe in it, if you can subscribe to it, then you are among friends. I like to use this channel where I like to read, from the OAHSPE. I like to share it. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just a brother. I'm just trying to do the best I can. For some reason, I seem to believe in the Creator, have for a good part of my life, and I see him doing things now. I see him going in a different direction and leaving a lot of people behind. Unfortunately, I have to commend the Creator for people. He knew that man likes to rest on his laurels when it comes to the spirit, when it comes to the faith and believing and spirituality. So what he did is he let him go to sleep. People, they make confessions all the time about they love God and Jesus is God is good, and you hear it from everybody's mouth all the time, and they don't realize that the Creator, he doesn't go for it. He doesn't go for it. He's got a way to get to how you really feel. He got a way of exposing all what's a good word for fake, for insincerity. He's got a way where he can flesh that out. If you really just, you really are not sincere, you don't really care too much about spiritual things, the Creator, he got a way to find that out. He's been doing it. He continues to do it where he let man have religion, and he respected it for a while because he knew that as human beings, we need something to believe in. And so what he did was he let people see. And religion puts people to sleep, and it take away your critical thinking so that you don't have to think anymore. You just have to subscribe to the doctrine or whatever faith that you believe in, and you're home free. And Creator, he knows that people are naturally lazy like that. If we can get somebody else to do it for us, we'll do it. So religion gives you that, gives you a pastor, gives you a teacher. And I don't want to sound critical of everybody, but I think there's some unwitting dupes in religion, and hopefully they'll come out. They'll realize the deceptionists in the world and come out like the other faithists who will come out. We've come out of the world. We've been given our critical thinking back. We're able to do the things that really matter, really, which is to examine ourselves, to, learn the will of the Creator, which is really simple, man. Really simple. It's as if the Creator is saying, I got a kingdom. I'm going to put people in it. I'm going to populate it with people who know how to treat each other right. I'm going to populate it with people. I look at a kingdom that's free of the tetracts. You know what the tetracts are? Those are the negative vibrations in the world today that keep people from being able to focus on the will of the Father because you're busy focusing on yourself. So what do they call it in the world? Analysis paralysis. There's all kinds of afflictions in the world to stagnate you and keep you from chasing the light, which should be a lifelong endeavor. Only a few are able to do it. They're called faithists. And the beauty is that we realize we're born. We realize we're in the world. we realize this opportunity. A brother or whoever it was, a sister was telling me that to be in the world is an opportunity. From what I understand, corporeality, there's a blessing behind it that we won't realize until we cross over. There's a blessing behind corporality. From what I understand, I seem to recall hearing from, I don't know if it was the OAHSPE or a brother teaching me that somebody, I don't know who it was. Did I read it in the OAHSPE or I can't remember where I got this from, but an entity came up to somebody who had crossed over after being in the corporal, after being in reality. It came up to him and he said, "Hey, how was it? How was it, man? Congratulations, you made it." There he is, Prince. Man, I was wondering about you. Hey, are you still doing videos, brother? Are you still in the fight, brother? I hope you're not discouraged. I meant to get in contact with you. I've been looking for you to put something up lately. I haven't seen anything. So anyway, I'll talk more with you later. Okay, good. That's all that's important. Sometimes I was reading in the OAHSPE where sometimes, brethren, they get tired. They get defeated in the world because ain't nobody going with you. Because, your phone broke. Oh, okay. No wonder. I'm not surprised. Why ain't I surprised that your phone is broken? You know what I mean? Just before I came on, today, the video, it froze. My computer froze. I don't even get phased no more, man. You know that? There comes a time when you start to realize ain't no such thing as coincidence, man. It becomes spiritual after a while, So I don't even get phased anymore. I just go through I just had to restart the computer, and just fight. You just have to fight, man, these incidents, I love the verse where it says it's the little foxes that destroy the vine. It's the little things in life that just nip at you and nip at you and nip at you and nip at you until you finally, I give up, man. You start cussing everybody out, And that's what the little foxes want you to do. It's the little things, well, as big as well as the big things, But what was I saying, man? About faith? Let me see. He says, but creator is undefeated. Yeah, just keep going. Absolutely, man. You got to love it when there ain't nowhere else to go. So, the now here on the screen, I wrote a little something today, and it's kind of, I made an entry in my book today. I write books, and this is an entry that I wanted to share. I felt like the creator gave me something good to share, and I wanted to share it. So, but I digress, man. We as faithists, we're in an opportune situation. We in an opportune situation. I read something in the I might have posted it too, and I might get to it when I share the things that some things that I found in the OAHSPE that I love to share in these rooms, the Facebook rooms where other faithists meet. You can go in the description area. You'll see the link for the different rooms that I like to fellowship with. You can come and click on the link, and you can join too and share with other brethren who we get together and speak our own language. Get together, speak our own language. But getting back, the creator, I seem to recall, oh shoot, I lost my thought, man, where I was talking about the entities in the spirit, and they were asking somebody that had crossed over, how was it, man? How was it on earth? And I seem to recall reading somewhere else. And if anybody in the room can, what I'm talking about, post it in the chat, where it talks about the benefit of coming into corporality. You have the benefit of experiencing the corporality and the spiritual, and that there are some entities, and I'm saying spiritual beings or corporeal beings, that do not have the experience. I know it talks about infants not having the experience of corporality, but it doesn't preclude them from the kingdom. Hey, Mahalia, she says, I'm surprised. Yeah, you got this, Mahalia, you got this knack of hitting the nail on the head. You know that? I still hear people, when they talk about the OAHSPE, they talk about interconnectedness, and that's exactly what you were talking about in one of the Bible studies that we have been through. I always think of you when I hear about the people use that word, the interconnectedness of all things. When it comes to the OAHSPE, yeah, I'm surprised too when things go as expected. Yeah, I mean, that's if I wasn't afflicted, like I'm heavily afflicted, I'm checking into the hospital tomorrow. I don't know if they'll keep me. I don't know what they're going to do with me. I've subscribed myself. I've resigned myself to whatever they're going to tell me. I feel like I've kind of let go of trying to be, I don't want to frighten anybody, but I've resigned myself to whatever they suggest for me. So I don't know if I'm going to be admitted. And if I'm admitted, I won't be online for a little while. I won't be doing videos for a little while because I won't have the wherewithal to share videos because where I'm going, they don't allow you to film the inside of the place. So just to let you brother know, so Creator, I don't know what plans he has for me. I'm just going to go with it. I've decided to put down. I'm not getting in the way. I believe that the Creator is telling me through my body to go to the hospital and subscribe to whatever they decide for you. Just don't fight it. Stop fighting it and just do what I'm putting on your spirit to do. Because for a long time, I've been putting it off. I don't trust doctors. I don't like, I didn't always feel that way, and, guys are like that anyway. You have to pretty much, handcuff a guy, and then get about 5 or 6 other guys to grab him, to make him go to the hospital. A guy won't go, man. He just, you better off taking your dog to the vet, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I've decided to change my mind and just let the Creator, whatever the will of the Creator is, and there's a blessing in that. When you learn to quit trying to be grab, meaning do your own will and just let go and just let the Creator, let what will be, and get out of the way and do what you can to help to benefit yourself. So that's the situation there. And so welcome to my channel, brethren. Pleasure to have this channel. That's really one of the few reasons why, for me, I think that it's just dessert for me to be able to try to share something with you, say something to you. You might like it. You might, matter of fact, that's a good idea. Let me put the link in the room. Put the link on. If anybody wants to come in and you want to share something, you got something, maybe you learned something or Creator gave you a teaching, or let's see, turn off this golf game. All right, so let me put the link in the room, so if somebody wants to say, or whatever, that's what the room is for you brethren. Come get together. And you see Mahali says, how will you let us know what the plan is? Do you mean whatever happens when I go to the hospital? How will I let you know? I'll probably end up just putting it in the room, one of the rooms on Facebook, if I feel like they're telling me something that brethren should know, or just to give an update, or when I might be back. I think I'll end up just putting it in the room, one of the rooms on the Facebook, one of the rooms, this room right here, or this room right here. For anybody who looks at this video, for your information, these are the rooms where I like to try to have fellowship with. And then here's my room, where I would recommend Brother Omian's rooms. I would recommend his rooms because he has the most number of people in there. And so my room is pretty small, and other brethren, they share, and you just get the benefit of more participation. So anyway, brethren, again, welcome to my room. I learned a beautiful thing that Brother Dave taught me. Yeah, it was Brother Dave. He taught, man, wow, man, him, Asenath, we were talking, and the brother just, they just laid me out, man. The latest thing that we were talking about in the room at the end of a video was we read the OAHSPE where the creator, he talks about the revisitation of angels on the earth. And I always thought, like, well, when it happens, it's going to be like a worldwide thing. It's going to be a way in which I expected, where all of a sudden people were going to be testifying, yeah, I received, somebody came to me, and somebody from my family or an angel, or, saying, yeah, worship Creator, you're on the right path, worship Creator. I thought it was going to be something like that. And then, I was talking with Brother Dave and Asenath, and they were telling me about, if you Google like indigo children and rainbow children and crystal children, and these people are on the earth today, and they fighting corruption and evil. And I think it was Dave that was telling me that they were laying the foundation for the kingdom. See, these are like, undercover agents, man. This is a spirit that's in people, because Creator, from what I understand, he's going to dig out the root. He's going to dig out from the root, man. He ain't going to deal with the symptoms. He's going to go to the root of the downfall of mankind. He's going to clean out. Matter of fact, y'all remember that scripture? A scripture comes in my mind. Remember this one? You remember this scripture? And now the axe is laid at the root of the tree. Y'all remember this one? See? Matthew? See, I think that's how the Creator, he uses the Bible. He hides things in it, so that when faith has come along, they was going to be able to get the real fruit out of it. Matthew 3:10, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that God is able these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. Now also the axe is laid into the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So you may think differently, but I think the Creator is saying, I'm going to sweep the world. I'm going to sweep it and kill off the corruption of man. I'm going to sweep the world. I'm going to start from, and I think, another thing that Brother Dave and I think, and our Asenath was bringing out, was that he's going to deal with the children. See, the Creator is going to deal with the children first. Matter of fact, in OAHSPE, it says it's more profitable to deal with the child than with an adult, because the children ain't set in their ways. So the Creator is working even while we don't see it. And I remember what I was sharing earlier. The Creator, he got a way of exposing where you really come from, the condition of your heart. Every parent, they don't want their daughter to go out to choose somebody, a young man, let's say, and he got deception in his heart. Because see, a lot of young guys, they know how to act around the girl's parents. See, they know how to hide the corruption that, the impurity they may have in their mind towards their daughter. And so they have a natural defense for that, but not against the Creator. The Creator, he know how to, do you look at the Creator as fire insurance? Is that how you look at it? Because he knows how to find out. That's one of the things I respect about the Creator. Do you like to talk? about how much you love me, or do you like to do it? I can see it. I'm not trying to sound like I'm the only one. You brethren should be able to see it too. Like the lesson of the wheat and the tares. It's going to come out in the end. Your deeds, the words you say, that's the situation we're under right now. And I'm telling you, man, the more that I behold people, it seems like the Creator just keep telling me over and over again, do you see the situation that you in? Do you see it? Do you see the situation you in? How you basically looking at a bunch of robots. Do you know you talking to a bunch of robots? Now, I don't want to sound harsh, man. I'm telling you the truth. I do not want to sound harsh. Today, I went to the store just to get out of the house. Get out of the house. And this teacher at the local high school up the street, I usually see him sometimes. Now, this guy's a history teacher. He's a history teacher. So we started talking, right? No, I didn't bring up the OAHSPE. I said, well, let me see. You're a history teacher. I asked him, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And the guy's as ignorant as hell. He's as ignorant as can be. Now, I wouldn't say it to his face. And that's not right. But what I mean is that he's been indoctrinated. He don't have his own mind. He doesn't know what I would think he would know. And I asked him, I said, man, look, what is more important, your character or materialism? Because I made a statement like, these children, what do they see? I know what's up now with the educational system. You're basically taught to be a good citizen and fear the law and fear going to prison, losing your freedom. These are like state indoctrinated institutions where you just taught to be a good citizen. One of the first things they teach you is the law, Constitution, things that the state wants you to learn so you can be a good little civilian. And that's what it's all about. I mean, you have to commend the powers that be to starting out young, kindergarten, teaching you respect authority. You respect it, you little, you know what I mean? And so the spiritual seed from the jump, man, it gets put out. The spiritual seed from the jump, man, from Jump Street, that thing damn near gets put out of Faithus, I would even venture to say. I know that I was like a man under a standing 8 count, man, in elementary school, junior high, and high school. I mean, I wasn't under my own recognizance, I like to say it because that word is funny to me. In the court, they let you go on your own recognizance, In other words, you under a standing knockout, man, in the sense that you don't know what's up. Now you get older, and then with the help of the Creator, you find out what it's all, where we at. So I was talking with that teacher, man, and it was a terrible shame. It was a terrible shame. I said, is character more important or materialism? I said, the spirituality or the spirituality. I combine character with spirituality, but I couldn't tell him that because I don't think that, spiritually, I deduced that he doesn't have a spiritual seed, or if he does, it hasn't began to germinate yet. So I said, is character more important than materialism? Is character more important or materialism? And he said character. I said, now, if you found out a fact about history that you was taught that was always true, would you teach that, or would you teach the curriculum? And he said, well, if it's fact, then I'm going to teach it. I said, well, what about let me see. I can't say the word because my channel could, I could get in trouble. Somebody tell me what I'm thinking. Someone who knows what's in my mind, what I want to talk about, but I can't. It has to do with those people, something that happened in the 1940s. Matter of fact, I got a way, I think, of showing you what I'm talking about, that I know that teacher wouldn't speak the truth even if he knew the facts. This is what I'm talking about right here. Just look at the screen, okay? I'm going to type it out. Okay, now I don't believe this happened. I don't believe this happened in history, the way they give it to us. Now in Europe, this could get you in a lot of trouble to take this stance. You see what I got on the screen there? See that? That I can't say? So I talked to him about that. So you guys see that? Okay, good. Now let me go back to the other channel or the other page so I can, Now I was talking to, matter of fact, type of 1 if y'all saw that. Let me go back there. Does everybody, if you can, type of 1 if you can see what I'm referring to here. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Wait a minute. Let me I want y'all to know what I'm talking about. Now, let me know if you can see that. All right. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now, I told the teacher this did not happen. Now, let me share the tab. Okay, Rare Love, you seen it? Anybody else in here? Anybody else? Can y'all see this? Type 1 if y'all can see this. Let me see how many people are in the room here. Oh, 7? So who else sees this? Sees the screen? Okay, Mahalia. I just want to make sure before I go on. This is what I'm talking about right here. All right. Okay, so a couple of y'all see it. All right, good enough. I'll good enough for me. Now, I was talking to the teacher, and this is what I was referring, this is what I talked about. I said, now, if you knew the facts were not true the way that the government, the mainstream media line is, I said, would you teach it? And he said, well, it depends on what, And I said, well, what if I showed conclusively that this event did not happen? It did not happen the way we were told. He said, well, he had to think about that one. See, he had to think if he would tell the truth and risk losing his job or whether he would go along with the program. Now, my what's a good word for my perception of him was that he would not teach that because the opposition to, he just wouldn't do it. Now, he's like a lot of people. When I was sizing him up, that's the perception I came to. See, that's where we live. That's the reality where we live. The deception. And I forgot the whole point of what I was making and talking about this thing. I think it had something to do with, I can't remember. I flat out cannot remember what my point was. I think it has something to do with character and materialism. I forget where I was. I had a point and I forgot what it was, just like that. Just left my mind. I think it had something to do with the deception. And I think it has something to do with how the Creator, he has a way of finding out whether your sincerity. He's given the world religion. He let them follow it. And then he pulls the rug out at the very end where he speaks, the faith is hearing, and they depart out of the world. That's what's going on right now. And talking with the brother the other day, and the sister, the Creator's been moving. And I don't think that we've been seeing how he's moving in the way that he's doing in our present day, raising up people. There's a consensus against the corruption of man that seems to be going on in the world. I'm surprised at the information that's coming out against the corruption and the evil and the anti-God sentiments that's going on in this reality today. I'm surprised that whatever gets out that exposes the darkness is getting out. But the crystal children, the indigo children, the rainbow children, they seem to be real spirits that fulfilling the OAHSPE about angel visitations, in the sense that they're under a righteous vibration. They may not be calling themselves faithists. I'm just trying to point out how the Creator, he can work, and we don't even see it. But we're in the cosmic era now. And that kingdom, the downfall of the kingdom of man begins with the children. It begins with the children growing up, subscribing to their spiritual, righteous vibration, hating corruption, exposing the evil. And you see a lot of that, and you have to think this is the Creator. He's fulfilling his word. And it's one way of testing people, because just people usually don't move until it's too late. And we live in a reality where people, like I was sharing earlier, they like to say, they like to give the Creator lip service, but they don't know anything. They don't, you would think that if you love something, you would know a little bit about it. Me, I was talking to a teacher again, and he was like, he's just a robot. I was asking him about that event, and I told him some bullet points about why it wasn't true. And he just didn't know anything. And then I asked him about another event, the situation with a naval boat called the USS Liberty. And I was trying to point out how those people, okay, how they have corrupted I was just trying to show how thick the darkness is. And, the title of my video is called The Aegean Forest. The Aegean Forest. Now, from what I understand, now I could be wrong, but I'm to try to share my best understanding of the Aegean Forest. Say like you driving a car, right? And this remind me of like when the OAHSPE, it talks about the roadway, the solar, what is it called? The solar phalanx or something? The Ethereum roadways. And it talks to you about the travels of the serpent. Now, the way that it seems what I've been led to think is like, say you're in a car. You in a car and you driving from, let's say, like east to west. And you go through different regions, geopolitical regions of the United States, and the scenery changes, the topography changes, and it brings you into different spirit, vibration. I absolutely love, one of the best times of my life is driving across America. I did it like 4 or 5 times. Especially from east to west. It's something spiritual behind that to me. If you take the southern route, you go down. Both routes are good. I was coming from the east out to California. And the northern route, once you get out west, is just fantastic. And the southern route is just fantastic too. There's great beauty, the layout of the land and the clouds and the weather. And same way with the Aegean Forest, it seems like, it's like when the OAHSPE talks about the roadway and the Adarian roadway, and the way that the only way I can explain it, say like you're driving in a car and then you come across rainy weather, and then then it's all sunshiny, you know what I mean? And then you come to this state and it's real, like if it's summertime, it's real hot, and that affects your attitude. And then you start coming out and seeing the mountains, and that just thrills you. It just blesses your soul. And then you may drive and it's snowing in this state. You know what I mean? I'm trying to just make the point that those are like what the OAHSPE calls like the Aegean forest. They're densities, they're environments that it affect us, that comes on the world. Like what I'm going to be reading in Ezra, it talks about the Creator. He says he's going to bring us into the Aegean forest. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't claim to, he brings us through like in different environments, and it affects your spirituality. It affects your mindset. I read that the OAHSPE says the densities can sometimes be pushed down to the earth so that the atmosphere, now you have to look at it spiritually, that it comes like it gets pressed down into the earth so that the earth will reflect the darkness that's going on in the atmospheric regions for the sake of perfecting. It's like, now correct me if I'm wrong, I imagine that somebody will, that the reason the Creator, he allows stuff like that, he brings these influences because those are the things that change our mind from earthly to spiritual. Maybe the situation is real vexing and it make you, the Creator, he seems to use situations to get you to refocus, to recalibrate spiritually, to the scripture says, lest I had been afflicted, I had gone astray. That's the human nature. It's like, when we keep under the gratification of the flesh, the entertainment, maybe the distraction, and it keeps you distracted from, then you can't grow. But for the faithless, it strengthens you to keep growing, to not desire the things of the world. The Aegean forest, it's a density, man. It's a density. It seems as if it's like you're driving and then all of a sudden you come to a region, it presses down on you, it influences you, and then you look up and you've come out of it, your attitude is better. Now, I could be wrong, man, but when I read about the Aegean forest, that's what it seems to be. That's how the Creator works. He uses atmosphere to get us to strengthen. Now, again, man, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a beautiful thing. That's how the Creator, he can work in ways that, for the world, he brings the Aegean density, or whatever it is. And then the world turns to war and evil and fighting and killing, And then he lifts that density. And then they seem to want to, it's a different reality. That's what I seem to get out of the Aegean forest. That's why I wanted to share it, at least what I think, and then you can correct me. Somebody can say something, and no, brother, it's like this. This is the purpose of it. This is what it looks like to us, or we in the Aegean forest right now, and this is when we're going to come out of it. Because all things, prophecy is not guesswork. You hear the brother say, it's cyclical. Cyclical, man. Meaning you find out the pattern and you home free. You You home free now. See, you home free, man. There's a pattern. Everything is cyclical, cyclical. We can tell, all right, we heading into a blessed time. All right, we headed into a dark time. We're going to be able to tell from the atmosphere, the environment of the world that the world is in right now. That's if you brethren who can subscribe to looking at the world and learning a lesson from it. I would have to say we're in the time of Aegean forest. Again, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're in a density. Why? Because it ain't nothing to kill somebody. It ain't nothing to not care about your character. See, that's what I'm learning when I look at the world. People in power, they don't care nothing about their character. Why do I say that? Because I know that they get paid off. They get paid off by different political interests to corrupt themselves in the interest of a few and not the many. The system, we live in a rigged system. I love it when people ask me, who would you vote for? I would say the creator. I'll vote for the creator. That's who my candidate is. I'd vote for the creator. How about that? See? It's just that my whole point, man, is, the creator, his agenda, his will. Oh, wow, man. It's like the creator says, hey, look, I got my kingdom over here. Now, if you want that, okay, you just go ahead and you just keep going. But I'm going to take my people. I'm going to separate them. Remember the story of the wheat and tares? I'm going to just keep separating. I'm going to separate them all the way to the end. And then when it's time for me to bring that, what do they call it, a danha or a harvest, or I'm just going to take them. I was talking to the brother the other day, and I was saying something about, Rare Love. That's the best candidate, but he ain't allowed to run. I was talking with, the spiritual man. Oh man, it just knocked me out. I asked Brother Dave, I said, well, when he was telling me about the indigo and the rainbow children and the crystal children, it explained a lot to me. How you got some people in the world, and they real smart, man. They got a head start on the world, man. They got an advantage in the world. They grow up and they on the fast track to college. You look at them, you say, man, their future is all set. How come I can't be in that position? Number one, you don't know what the creator got for you. You may say, oh man, I'm losing out, man. I'm losing in life. I'm gonna have to struggle and sweat and work all for a bunch of string of disappointments. Why does it gotta be that way? Here they are, they're gonna go have their education paid for. Then when they get out, they're gonna walk into a six-figure entry-level job. And I'm going to be slugging it out, trying to, work 6 jobs just so I can pay for a studio apartment. But the creator is amazing, man, because especially for faithists, and the opportunity is for everybody. It's not really how you start. It's how you finish. It's not how you start, man. And, to get back, I would look at some kids and they were in like the best classes, the college prep classes. And I used to be vexed at the imbalance of it. Why did they get to, But when you begin to elevate and mature and that seed in you begins to germinate and the creator begins to explain it, he really showing you. See? Now I correct me if I'm wrong, man, but the spiritual world, it'd be talking about elevations. First, second, third, resurrection, etheria, nirvana. And so when you're looking at people who are gifted like that, and they got you know, it seemed like the Creator saying, you're going to be those children. You faithists who choose the Creator, you know. Remember we were talking the other day about beauty, you know. There's an imbalance in the world. There are people who are aesthetically beautiful and you're not. You know, I'm not speaking of anybody in specific, but you know what I mean? I was showing you the picture of athletes' wives, and the world says that they are beautiful. I don't necessarily agree, but I wanted to point out about the world, what the world thinks, you know. And you shouldn't think that you're any less, because, see, the Creator is the great equalizer, man. You know, remember we talked about your thoughts, and the OAHSPE, the brother he showed us a verse where it said that the Creator, he bring you to a point where he show you yourself, and he likens it to a beautiful woman, you know, or where your sister's beautiful man, you know. And then you say, well, who is that? And the Spirit says, I'm you. I am you. You know, I'm you. I'm your woman. I'm your man. You know, remember? And then before that, Creator, he had me online, and I was surfing, and I seen this dude who looked like a damn freak of nature, man. You know, and I love to show him too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it right now. I looked at him, and I was like, why is this guy getting my attention? He's just a man. You know, he's nothing to me. And then the inspiration came to me. Yaiquab, that's you. That is you. And so it go for faithists too, man. I love to tell this story. This go for faithists too. You brother, you know, now I mean sisters too. Now, I got to use a man. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, you can't show a woman, you know, like everybody want, you know, but a guy, you know, I'm lumping the women, the sisters in with, you know, the brothers on this one. Spiritually, look at what we look like spiritually. All I can remember is the dude's last name. This is what we look like spiritually, man. That's a thought that came to my mind. I was surfing, right? I don't know what I was studying. And then this dude came up. I don't even remember how to spell his name. How do you spell his name? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I think I got it. This dude came up, you know, and I was like, well, so what? And the inspiration said, Yaiquab, you look like him. The Spirit. And really it was saying, we all look like this, man. Look at what we look like spiritually. We all look like this. Look at his freaking nature, man. You know, look at him. Zeus, Adonis, Samson, all rolled into one, man. You know, dude looked like he could squeeze your head off, man. Clean off your shoulders. Look at him. and it was like my mind was saying, Yaiquab, that's what you look like. That's what faithists look like. You know, that's what Fritz, Brother Fritz, that's what he look. Look what Fritz look like, man. You know, like he will bust your freaking head open, man. If you even sneeze around him, you know, Look at that's what faithists look like. You know, and you know what? I believe it. I do believe that we don't know what we look like spiritually. And if we only knew, but then you might get the big head, and, you know, and I think that's why the Creator, he keeps that type of information from us. I like it. I love it myself. I don't think you could prove me wrong. I don't think you could prove me wrong when I say that. So here's my room, some of the things that I share in my room, you know, some verses that I like to share with brothers. Cosmogony you taught in ancient times was sufficient for that day, but now I am raised up by you to receive comprehensive knowledge of the sun, the stars, and other worlds of their travel in your great firmament. Now, that's got to be talking about ancient times, man, because from what I understand, and I'm sure you brethren know too, they were advanced, man. You know, these other civilizations that we think lived in, in haystacks and, you know what I mean? Cardboard houses, the way we think about antiquity. Man, these civilizations, and you know what? I know that you brethren already know. You know that? I consider you brethren way more advanced, than myself. A lot of you brother, you brother you be shocking the hell out of me, that knowing the things that y'all know. Personally, I love it. I think I just love it, man. Sometimes we talk about the zodiac. Y'all come out with y'all knowledge, and just like the brother came out the other day about the indigo children and saying how they were going to come on the earth. These are angel spirits that are coming to set up the kingdom of the Creator, working from the root. Right now, they're taking hold to influence the mind of the spirits of the Uzians. It starts from, and the world can't see them. People who they are advocating righteousness. They advocating character. They may not always be talking about the Creator, but they challenging the corruption and darkness. Some of them giving their life. See? So the situation, people, they getting tired of the corruption, the darkness, the character of men, the materialism of men, led by the United States of America. I'm going to tell you something, man. You look at the Far East, and the Eastern Asiatic nations, they be talking about God. You know that? They may be under heavy religion, man, but they be talking about God. You know that? The Asiatic nations. People know that Russia, they got a strong Orthodox tradition, the church. Now, I wouldn't subscribe to the church. I don't do that. Because religion, I don't subscribe to religion no more. But they have a prominent orthodoxy. It's like they want to do right, is what it tells me. They may be under deception. I don't know who they pray to. And then you got China, which is more of a moral type of, the morality of their people. It seems to be more honorable than Western morality. See, these people are closer to the Creator than America is. And that's why, our country, we like to brag and boast. We like to brag and boast. And I don't want to put it in harsh terms, but the Creator is what's a good word for? He is overturning the American way of life. Selfishness, lust, greed, imbalance, caste system, rich, poor. If you look, I like to share about it. If you look at the world, man, you can learn a lesson about what the Creator is doing. You can learn. One of the things you're going to see, we can't go on like this, man. We just can't go on like this. And to think that after all the dirt that we did, that we're going to get away with it, man, you're crazy. The Creator, he just ain't going to let it happen. I know you, brethren, be reading in the OAHSPE where he says that he talks about people who get over on other people. You know that? The OAHSPE talks like that, don't you? Remember how I said that the slaves are going to be waiting for the slave master? Can you imagine that? That's what the OAHSPE, do you know the OAHSPE says that? It says that those who took into bondage, not only are they going to have to work to raise up every last individual that they brought into bondage and took advantage of. It sounds like the oppressed, the afflicted, they're going to lay the cosmic wood to these people. You know that? You remember, you ever heard that? You read that. That's in the OAHSPE, man. You know? Don't think the creator is a fool, man. All imbalance must be dealt with. It's going to be dealt with, man. You know? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Although you read New OAHSPE where the creator, he said his tools are love and empathy and compassion and righteousness and holiness. And he don't never subscribe to, but he telling you in that, spiritual realities. He talks about light will be answered. Light will answer all things. Light, man. You know what it means? It means all imbalances. All imbalances. See, time for the reading of the word. So, real quick, couple verses. You can stop the video. Let me check out a couple of real good ones and share it with you. My sister, she likes to share the metaphysical word. So, here's another one. And I be posting these verses with something in my mind, and then I may forget why I posted it sometimes, but it says, but not alone nor unseen were these toiling millions. I remember I posted this. This is like for brethren, It's like the creator is saying, don't be discouraged in this verse here. Don't be discouraged, man. It says, but not, now I'm jumping in the middle of a thought real quick. It says, but not alone, nor unseen were these toiling millions, hundreds of millions of Jehovah's angels. He said, they're not unseen, man. And they're not struggling in vain. It says, faithful sons and daughters, for the labor built up their own spirits. I'm not reading that right. It says, but not alone nor unseen were these toiling millions, hundreds of millions of Jehovah's angels, faithful sons and daughters. For the labor built up their own spirits to be as very gods and goddesses. See, that's talking to you, brother. We're laboring to become gods and goddesses. That's why we labor, man. Well, I think that most of it's out of the joy and out of the love for the creator and what we know he has done for us, what he offers us. I don't really even think that we try to labor for any glory or rewards. I think that, I could be wrong. I think that it's just in us, whether there are heavens and hell, or heavens and there are mansions in heavens, or there are fires in hell. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that faithists are under that vibration, working for rewards, working for so we can be glorified. That's got to be a little part of it, but I think that there's something more with faithists. I don't think the reasons have anything to do with being selfish. I just don't. Call me naive, but I don't think that. Well, I can only speak for myself. I don't really care. I just can't really much care, we want to be in glory, but I just can't really much care about that. I just have to be who I am. It says, which was written in their fair faces. It says, let me read it again. It says, but not alone nor unseen were these toiling millions, hundreds of millions of Jehovah's angels, faithful sons and daughters, for the labor built up their own spirits to be as very gods and goddesses in noble endurance, which was written in their fair faces, so that the high raised messengers of far off heavens, traveling past, saw Jehovah's soul in them, and so bore the news together to other worlds of darkness of the earth and her evil gods, and of the faithful struggling host of Jehovah and their uphill work. And now the earth and her heavens crossed the boundaries of the Aegean forest, the Gean forest, and rolled slowly towards homes and dominions of other Etherian gods. So it's like the creator saying, we're in a temporary thing. We're we're on the road, and on that road, you got winter, summer, spring, fall, autumn, all the seasons. Sometimes, just like, remember the song? What's the name of that song? Sunshine and rain, man. Isn't that it? Isn't that one? Joy and pain? Yeah. Remember that? Joy and pain, sunshine and rain. See, Elijah says all highest light revolves around being good to one another and doing all kinds of good works, which leads to endless ascension, all non-selfish. We are to represent the Creator Yahweh in unique ways. That's right. And you, see, that's why all of us represent a different flavor of the Creator. We all got our own flavor. See? All of us, we got our own flavor. To glorify, to represent, to be a light of the Creator. You got your own way that you do better than most people. That's what it's all about. Faith just ain't cookie cutter, robot type of people. The Creator, he let you have your individuality. All he do is give you the template. How you share it, it's up to you. It's up to you, man. That's the beautiful thing. Time for the reading of the word. Oh, here's some more verses. Let me just show them. Then you can stop the video. You can read it. Oh, here's an interesting thing about the colors in the OAHSPE. The colors, red, yellow, blue, what they mean. Let me show that in case you might want to read it. Here's something else. The unseen is potent over man, over the seen. 4 great idolatries, I've established them. This is a repentance of the voice of man, from the book Voice of Man. And this is him repenting of what he's done on the earth. It's a good read. Here's another verse. Algonquin, America. I forget what the point of that verse is. Anyway, you can just read and then stop the video. All right, time for the reading of the word. The name of the video is the Aegean Force, and it's Esdras. I think it's Book of Esdras, chapter 11. So let's see if the Creator bless the reading of His word. Remember the link, you brethren, if you want to stop me and you want to share or whatever. So now what was it? Esdras chapter 11. So let's get that. It's like, you got to think, man, that for a faith I hate to be vulgar. It's like we are stacking dollars. Now, I hate to use that term, man. You know what I mean? It's like we have that opportunity. When I say stacking dollars, it's like every day, man, we have the ability to put something in the bank account. I don't want to be vulgar, man, but I right now, this is all that comes in my mind. Every day is an opportunity to make a deposit, a spiritual deposit. That's how I look at things. It's an opportunity to make a spiritual deposit. And that's what vexes your soul. You look at the rest of the world, you see a lot of people wasting time pursuing the world, can only talk about the world, you know what I mean? It's the truth. What I'm telling you is the truth. It's easy to see, the pursuits of the world. The carrot on the stick, man. And I'm not saying it's wrong to chase the carrot on the stick. I'm just saying that, if you're prosperous, praise the Creator. If he made you prosperous, give praise and thanks. But when you chase materialism, when you chase the carrot on the stick to the exclusion of your soul, That's a terrible thing, man. That's the most terrible situation. And riches are excellent at distraction and abstract, uh, yeah, distraction is the best word you can use, keeping you, preoccupying you from spiritual things. So here's where I want to read from. We're in a situation where I know in my heart the Creator is going to rock people's foundations. It's already happening. When they start to feel the effect of all those Asiatic nations coming together and doing business amongst themselves as they are doing right now, and then they start saying things like, we are not going to trade with the dollar. Now, these are things faithists don't really care too much about. I'm just sharing with you things that are going to affect this reality. Things that are going, when you see, and that's it's a terrible thing. The Aegean forest, from what I understand, those densities that the Creator He allows to come on man and to get him to wake up, man, wake up. You see where your ways are taking you. And when the world starts interfering with our way of life, and what I mean by that is that when things that we're used to, that have always been, and those things start getting, when the life as we have always have known, when it starts to shrink, when it starts to decline, that gets people's attention. And then you see you ain't got no foundation. You have no relationship with the Creator. You have no faith. You have no testimony. You're not subject to the promises of the Creator for His people. Even though He gives you the opportunity every single day, every single minute, all you got to do is change your mind. Just change your mind from the material, the worldly to the spiritual. Just change your mind. May the Creator bless the reading of His word in the book of Esther, chapter 11. And now earth and heaven came into Aegean forest of the Agonades. I should have did a little word study before I started this about the Aegean forest. A little late now. Maybe I can do it again. And now earth and heaven came into the Aegean forest of Agonades, and the pressure was upon all sides of the earth's vortex. Look at that, even beyond Chenvat. Even beyond Chenvat, man. I mean, it reached up into Etheria, this pressure, this influence that affects mortals and spirits. The Aegean forest, it said, and the heavenly kingdoms were stirred up, and the nations of the earth were in trial. So Aegean forest equates with trials of the earth. See, that's where we are right now. If you learn a lesson off the world, brothers and sisters, we in trial. Okay, I'm telling you, man. I know you don't like to hear about the world. I do. I want to know what's going on spiritually. And I'm telling you, we got problems. All right. We got serious problems. The Aegean forest, the density, the pressure. In the great city of paradise, heavenly seat of God, the multitudes of angels, the billions were made to look upward, outward, to know the Almighty. See, the situation was such that even gods and angels look like you would look up to somebody for help. It said, as AG drives the weak angels of heaven to seek a lower field. See, it's like they are out of their element. The weak angels, it's like they love the like the Druidian spirits. They feed off of chaos, corruption. They don't want nothing to do with righteousness and spirituality. Now, it says the AG, it drives the weak angels of heaven to see. They want what they're used to. They want to deal with corruption, with, what's a good word for anti-spiritual things? That's where they at home. It says, as AG drives the weak angels of heaven to seek a lower field. See, that's where they at home, a lower field. See, the pressure drives them down to where we are. Their atmosphere comes down to us, where they are strong in subjugating spirits, afflicting them, oppressing them. That's where they want to be. It says, as AG drives the weak angels of heaven to seek a lower field like the earth, so does it on earth drive polluted nations to war and avarice and the depths. See there? There you go, right there. AG, so now we can conclude AG is equated with war, See? Polluted nations to war and avarice. Now, what is avarice? Let's see what the definition of avarice is. Avarice means excessive. Avarice means excessive or insatiable desire for wealth or gain. Tell me that's not the United States. Tell me that's not capitalism. Try to tell me it's not capitalism. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try to tell me. It means excessive or insatiable desire for wealth or gain. Greediness and cupidity. May God help us. That's avarice. AG drives the weak angels of heaven to seek a lower field, so does it on earth drive polluted nations to war and to avarice and to death. When only the second shower of a dozen years had fallen, mortals in many nations of the earth rushed into war. It won't let me share the tab. What's going on? Okay, there it is. Sorry about that. Oh, is it trying to mess up on me again? Oh, no. Good. I got it. All right. So it says, when only the second shower of dozen years, let me go back. It says, as AG drives the weak angels of heaven to seek a lower field, so does it on earth drive polluted nations to war and to avarice and to death. When only the second shower of a dozen years had fallen, mortals in many nations of the earth rushed into war. Look at that. It says, when only the second shower of a dozen years. Now, it sounds like it was going to fall for a dozen years, but in the second year already, many nations of the earth rushed into war. Now, I could be wrong. It says, an even fate to begin to clamor for kings and standing armies with great captains and generals to lead them onto mortal dominion. So even some fatalists, their foundations get rocked because of the pressure, the AG that comes on the earth. And it could be describing, I think that it could very well be describing the current reality. The Israelites made a mortal king by their behavior, said rather man than Jehovah. Behold, we will have the Lord with us to fight our battles. Now, looking at the Bible, that's what they did when they asked for a king to rule over them. Remember that account? Saul. So I think Crater, he's referring to a historical event as well. It says, and Baal, god of the idolaters, heard and saw. Baal, god of the idolaters, heard and saw and gloried in the course of events. And he hastened to the scene with millions of his angel slaves to inspire the Israelites to glory in the Lord and God, whom he assumed to be. Baal, god of the idolaters. He inspired the Israelites to glory in the Lord and God, whom he assumed to be. Baal, where we are today, people are inspired to worship the Lord God. He inspired the Israelites, and it says, the millions of the Israelites fell beneath his power and became his spiritual slaves. The others, still steadfast in the secret oral rites, remained true to the secret name and person Jehovah. So it sounds like this reaches back into history and is still relevant to today. What's going on? That Baal, he's still reaping a harvest, even today. Religion. It says, and millions of the Israelites fell beneath his power and became his spiritual slaves. The others, still steadfast in the oral rites, those who faith this remained true to the secret name of person Jehovah. When Asherah saw Baal's success, then for the first time ever, after 2,000 years, friendship to Baal, she became jealous and filled with vengeful wrath. She said, I see now how this traitorous God is planning to beat me in the regions west of Hellestia and Europa. That's Guatemala. That's America. The regions west of Greece and Europe, isn't that what Hellestia and Europa are? You know, Asherah says, she said, I see now how this treacherous God, Baal, is planning to beat me in the regions west of Hellestia and Europa by the flesh of my thighs. I swear, this thing shall not be. You know, this by the flesh of my thighs thing, I've actually seen that in practice. Years ago, I saw that. I saw some, I think they were East Indians, and they were talking with one another. And then when they concluded, they each put a hand underneath the thigh of the other. I never figured that out, what that meant. I knew it was some type of ritual. But now it's mentioned here in the OAHSPE, and evidently it's a sign of some type of covenant or promise. Or it says, by the flesh of my thighs, I swear this thing shall not be. I will send 100 million warring angels down to Babylon, Tyre, Yedman, and Lucy to inspire. Let me close my curtains. It says, by the flesh of my thighs, I swear to let this thing shall not be. In other words, she's not going to allow Baal to take over. I will send 100 million warring angels down to Babylon, Tyre, Yedman, and Lucy to inspire their mortal kings to make war on the westward cities, the strongholds of Baal. And as impoverished Egypt, I will send sufficient mortal armies to destroy everything in that land. Yes, I will also send my legions among the Israelites and inspire them that I, Asherah, am the only Lord and true God. I will divide. Now, why doesn't it say goddess? Is Asherah a goddess? When Ashtaroth saw Baal's success, then for the first time ever after 2,000 years, she became jealous. But down here it says, yes, I will also send my legions among the Israelites and inspire them that I, Ashtaroth, am the only true Lord and true God. Why didn't it say goddess? It says, I will divide. Well, I can see how it's, God, goddess, I will divide them up like a broken bundle of straw and cast them to the four winds of heaven. On the other hand, Baal said, because of my success, I know Ashtaroth will be jealous, and between her heavens and mine, if she dares to molest me, I will send my millions of angels, millions against her heavens, and despoil her utterly, so that she shall be cast into hell. So here's what one is thinking, and then here's what the other is thinking. On the other hand, Baal said, because of my success, I know Ashtaroth will be jealous and full of anger. Therefore, I will place a standing army between her heavens and mine, and if she dares to molest me, I will send my millions against her heavens and despoil her utterly. So they're both plotting against one another. The Aegean forest. This is the Aegean forest and the effect that it's having in the heavens and the earth. God, son of Jehovah, through his holy counsel in paradise, his heavenly seat, now decreed to the faithless of Arabenia, Ebenezer, captain with 5 million angels as a protecting host, to the faithless of China, Luita, captain with 10 million angels of a protecting host, to the faithless of Venue, India, Lichang, captain with 8 million angels as a protecting host, to the faithless of Guatemala, America, Manito, captain with 10 million angels as a protecting host, and to each of the captains I give authority to draw additional armies from the lords who hold dominions in the regions where they may be. So it's like we're seeing a preparation for war, spiritual, physical, earthly, between false gods and the righteous gods who are making provisions, making plans to offset the plans of Ashtaroth and Baal when they begin to, from what I can see, begin to start war with one another. It says, but it so happened that the Lord's heavenly plateaus were also engaged in wars. And in less than 100 years of aging, many of the lords were without kingdoms, and with a few chosen friends have become involuntary wandering spirits scattered about in all the heavens of the earth, or upon the earth. God saw this, and he called out to them through his messengers, saying, having lost your kingdoms, why will you lose yourselves? Is it not better that you fall to work in the remaining kingdoms and by your steadfastness help to maintain faith in Jehovah in the hearts of the less learned? So righteous God comes along and makes him an offer to basically, do you want to lose everything, including yourselves? Or do you want to work for righteousness' sake, for Jehovah's kingdom? Do you want to lose it all, or do you want to regain? I don't want to say regain what you lost, but it sounds like, do you want to be restored? It said, but Satan, which is the self, gained access to their souls, saying to each one of them, you who have been Lord of the hosts of heaven, you take a place like a common laborer, you would be laughed at. The non-resistant policy is good enough in times and places of peace. But now is war, and war can only be overcome by war. If great Deus was overcome and cast into hell, why not our God also? So they did not heed God. 13, it says, and lords and high officers whose heavenly places had fallen came to paradise in different companies of 10s, 20s, and even 100s from various heavenly regions around and about the earth. And having secured audience before God and his holy council, they said, since we have been faithful in all things and dutiful servants to Jehovah, what have we gained? Our kingdoms and high places have fallen to pieces through no fault of our own. Indeed, our angels have gone off into anarchy. Where then is the justice of Jehovah? God said to them, of what profit under the sun is discussion? If you fail in one way, try another, and in no case seek to justify yourselves before Jehovah. He is just. I love this verse because it gave me the idea to try to find other faithless rooms and to help build them up. Because I felt I wasn't meeting with success in the room that I had. It wasn't what I expected it to be. And I remember reading this, and it inspired me to impress Brother Omi, and he was saying on this video something to this effect: if you fail one way, try another. And another interesting thing too, I think I posted in my room where the creator, he says, it's not if you try and succeed. He said, in other words, it's not what you have, it's what you do with it. And it's whether you can continue even if you are a failure. You consider yourself a failure in what you do. It's not success or failure that matters. It's enduring. It is persistence that matters with the creator. It don't matter if nobody takes notice of you, or you feel that your labor is fruitless. It's between you and the creator. You got to remember, we're trying to build a beautiful us. If you want to get right down to it, you brothers and sisters, we trying to build a beautiful us. You may not know it. We read it earlier. Remember, your beautiful thoughts are you. If you take your mind and you make it beautiful, you see the balance, I was sharing earlier about you may be jealous of somebody because aesthetically they're beautiful. You want to be like that. They get a lot of attention. Well, the creator, he seemed to be saying, don't think like that, because you're doing that. You are actually doing that. Great, Mahalia. That's beautiful. That make my day. I'm glad. I need to hear it too. The creator offers us a balance. He offers us a balance. We ain't losing nothing. A faith just ain't losing. Matter of fact, creator, I wish I could say it. The closest thing I could think is to talk about where in the Bible it says, eye hasn't seen, ear hasn't heard the things that God has prepared for those who love him. I believe that. He telling us one thing here. If you think that you unattractive, make yourself beautiful. Make yourself beautiful then. That's the secret of life. You have the ability, we all got the ability to be the person that we never, ever thought that we could be. Do you know that we have the opportunity, each one of you, if you want to be beautiful in the eyes of others and to yourself, and we all want that. I want it. I want to be beautiful. I want to be beautiful in my spirit, and my character. You look at some people in the world, like I remember Muhammad Ali. I just thought he Capricorn. I just thought, like, man, what a beautiful character. That man, his character, the way he would joke with people, he would joke around when he was in the ring. He was lighthearted. And people loved that man. They loved him, his character. He had principles. He wouldn't go to war. Now, he may have been under a false god. And I hope that now he sees enough to come out of that. But people agree. White, black, all races of people love that man. There have been many people, women and men like him. You want to be them. The creator says, I know. He says, follow me. Follow me, Listen to my word. I can show you. You can be that person that you always wanted to, and you're doing it anyway. You can subscribe to my word. You're trying to follow me. Yeah, he was special. They're gifted men in the world, gifted men and women. They got charisma. See, I think the creator, he's showing us reality so that we can know what beauty is, so that we might desire it. All the things that we wish, I think the creator is saying, yeah, that's easy for me to do. You just follow me in sincerity and truth. I mean, call me kooky, but I really believe that's all. That's what he's saying. You know, there are already hells that have been standing for years. Is it not wiser that you join together and go and deliver them? Behold, Jehovah has furnished us roadways beforehand, and his voice came to us prophesying that this very darkness would come upon us. And you were advised and had sufficient time to provide for the worst. Go forth then, not complaining, but rejoicing in Jehovah's name, doing with all your wisdom and strength, regardless of favor. Thus they came before God, group after group for years, but were forever rebuked in the spirit of Jehovah. And they went away, but not to work righteously, but to sympathize with one another and to complain against God and against the Holy Council of Paradise. In groups, they assembled in places of their own and began to philosophize on the ways of heaven and earth. And everyone was sworn within himself to do no evil thing, but to find some more respectable way of serving Jehovah than by going among the ignorant and depraved. So they wanted to hold on to their power and authority. It says, in groups they assembled in places of their own and began to philosophize on the ways of heaven and earth. And everyone was sworn within himself to do no evil thing, but to find some more respectable way of serving Jehovah than by going among the ignorant and depraved. Well, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They don't want to, why not just do it, it says that they wanted to find some more respectable way. In other words, they didn't want to get humbled and be seen among the lower themselves. They wanted a more respectable way. They wanted to be acknowledged, their position. They wanted to keep their power and authority and respect. It says they wanted a more respectable way of serving Jehovah than by going among the ignorant and the depraved. They didn't want to be seen with people who they felt were less than themselves. It says, and they became accustomed to meeting regularly, 3 places in Hada. Now, I could be wrong. Let me see what the following verses say. It says, and these gods up here, they assembled in groups. It says, and they became accustomed to meeting regularly in 3 places in Hada. Haraktu over Venue, in Edisham over Chennai, and in Great Hapsendi. I forget where these places were. Chennai is China. Hapsendi, I forget where that is, what it is. It says, now finally, they resolved to organize each one of these 3 places, each to be under a distinct head, and to unite the 3 heads in one confederacy, with the whole to be dedicated to the service of Jehovah. Thus was founded the Confederacy of the Holy Ghost. Okay, so it's leading us somewhere to deception. These gods, they didn't want to do it Jehovah's way. They wanted to keep their pride, their authority, respect, and honor. And in their meetings, their councils, they come up with the Confederacy of the Holy Ghost. He said, and by acclamation, the 3 angels were raised to the 3 capitals named Cabalactes, Haraktu, and Akressa, Edisham, and Luamong of Hapsendi, and each and every one of the 3 took the title Son of the Holy Ghost. All 3 had been lords and were high and great. And so here we have some angels. They admit what is right, but they don't want to serve. They don't want to be made a servant. They want to hold on to the glory and the honor and the power that they have. They don't want to submit to the Creator. It says, and Akrissa selected 7 angels and gave them the rank of Lord, namely Aptu, Vizista, Mira, Erisiga, Adaman, Amish, and Kapka. Cabalactes selected 7 angels and gave them the rank of Lord, namely Liwan, Amitar, Wanathis, Hawikam, Shangzi, Masquatis, and Iniscabab. Luamount selected 7 angels and gave them a rank of Lord. Pedibuseta, Rodi, Monolithins, Miriam, Zitulia, Zestes, and Abarathames. So, such then was the established confederacy, which was to play so great a part in the history of heaven and earth, and it differed from all other confederacies because its members professed to serve Jehovah, and it required all of his people an oath of allegiance, and it required all people an oath of allegiance to Jehovah, but under the name Holy Ghost, which is Cabalactes, and Akrissa, and Edisham. because they denied his person. They're denying Jehovah and giving themselves the title, the respectability that belongs to Jehovah. Okay, so it says, and God admonished them, saying, though you are wise in your own conceit, yet you shall fail. For having denied his person, then you yourselves will become the person in the understanding of the multitude. And in this, you will sooner or later come to grief. But nevertheless, the Confederacy did not heed the words of God. God was grieved at heart for Jehovah's sake. So we know the rest of the story, really. They didn't realize that you can only lead people as high as your mortality will permit. And so they find out, who knows after how long, that you made a mistake. Same way for people. Same way for people. You follow, you continue, you can't break from religion, you can't break from that deity, that idol, and faith that's just sitting here talking about things that are not seen, and you can't believe for that reason. So you have to learn when it's too late. Where we read in the OAHSPE where the creator, he said that you're going to have to do without money what you could have done with money. In other words, now it's going to be harder for you to find the light than it would have been if you had been in the corporeality and the physical. Now it's going to be harder, and it's going to be longer. It's going to be more of a burden for the people of the world when you can't subscribe to the light. And then it's like you almost hate to say it. It's a terrible thing, man. It's very bittersweet, the OAHSPE, because you just don't want this, man, for people. I mean, we know good people, but their ears are shut. Their eyes don't want to see. Ain't nothing we can do about it. And we know the creator is not, he's not going to break his word. He give you over to your free will. And if you can't if you can't take a hold of your mind, and you can't learn, you can't find a way to subscribe to the light, you can't attain to his voice. I don't read anywhere where the creator, I mean, it sounds to me that he let you have your free will if you want it, if and we live in a reality where people's practical critical thinking has been subdued. That's why I'm saying, you brethren, you should be rejoicing, man. You should really learn a lesson. Learn a lesson, man. If you ain't got nothing at all in this world, you are able to attain to the Father's voice, man. And you should never, ever forget that. Hold that dear, man. That's the greatest gift we all got, man, is that, we can attain to the Father's voice. And we say to ourselves, man, that shouldn't be hard. That shouldn't be hard. Why is it so hard? Because people are tired of hearing about goody two-shoe righteousness, and they sick of that, man. They don't want, that's garbage. Get that garbage out of here, man. Give us some controversy. Give us some bloodshed, man. Give us the news about somebody who was great fell so we can feel good, Get out of here, man. We want some affliction. We want some bloodshed. We want some how they got in trouble, but I'm safe. I don't mean to sound harsh, man, but that's what I see, All right, that's good enough. That's the best I can do for right now, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end the reading. The reading right there. I'm gonna open it up and see if anybody else wants to come in and have a discussion or talk, or if not, then I'm gonna shut it down and remind everyone again that I'm checking in to the hospital tomorrow. Let myself get checked out. Hopefully, I'll be home the same day, but you never know. And I'll just make sure that if I'm gonna be tied up for a while, then I'm gonna make it post in the rooms that I belong to. I'm gonna put up a video with a title with the video that's not due to air until next year, just so that if somebody come looking for me and I haven't gotten out of the hospital by then, then at least I'll be able to inform brethren who come looking for me and I'm not there. So anybody want to share anything? What you about the reading? What you got out of it? I think the thing that stood out for me was that time of density. It seemed like the creator along our roadway, he got like times of where you come under like different influences and dark times, and which should help you to give up on trying to plant your feet in the world and try to consider higher things. To me, that's one of the big things that I got out of the the Aegean forest, that it's the cycle of life. The creator he used, because you see how we, America, I've been trying to share about our lack of character, how we've had it easy for a while compared to other nations. We've been we're in a situation, and we're in a nation where it is creator has handed over power and authority to Western Hemisphere. Now we see the decline is coming, and power is being handed over to the East now. And we haven't built up our character or foundation. I say that because the people who rule over us, they have no character. They're bought off. They have a love of materialism, and we're all paying for it, because with each generation, the dainty, the desire, the avarice. Remember, we looked at that earlier. The avarice it just grows and grows. That's what the creator said. And so the creator, it's like he brings times of aging so that we can hopefully come to our senses and realize that things are only temporary. The things we think are real, you know what I mean? Spice of life. Creator is saying that's not the case. And so with these dark times, he's saying, I'm going to bring you back. I want you to come back and to look up. Remember, we read earlier, some of the gods and angels, the AG came and they start looking up, because of the trials of the earth. They start looking up, man, So if there's no takers, then that's the best I can do for right now. I might as well go ahead and end the video. And thank you, brethren, for joining me. I want to give thanks to the creator for opportunity, try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, thank you so much. Pray the creator give us wisdom, give us knowledge, give us endurance and persistence, and give us good character, man. Good, strong character. Please, I know I need it. All right, so brethren, until when my situation, whatever happens, and I'll be sure to try to let you know, click on the link in the rooms and the Facebook Faith rooms. And so hopefully everything will go okay, and I'll be back before you know it. So, but if not, I'll let you know either way. So thank you, brethren, joining me. Till I see you again. Peace be unto you. Shalom.